Oh, right.
I'll call to order the meeting of Friday, January 24th, special meeting January 24th, 2025 at 7:04. Roll call.
Councilmember Crabtree. Here. Councilmember Hornish.
Here.
Vice Mayor Nunn.
Here.
Mayor Amaruso.
Here.
Thank you. We have a quorum.
Pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Very unexpected, and I promise. Hey, you did it to me last week, and I dealt with it. I'm good under pressure. Next time.
Okay, I'm seeking approval of the city council special meeting agenda of January 24th, 2025.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Mike.
What?
Mike.
Oh. I make a motion to approve the agenda on January 24th, 2025.
I second. Councilmember Crabtree. Aye. Councilmember Hornish.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Nunn.
Aye.
Mayor Amaruso.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Okay, then we're gonna go into our regular items. We're gonna discuss, consider appointment to fill vacancy on the city council. And I'm gonna start with opening it up to public comment.
Have we received any correspondence?
We have not.
All right, well, I'll close public comment. And open for discussion.
Oh. Go ahead. Oh, did one of them need to say?
Wait a minute, wait a minute, I'm sorry, so. There is a comment in my packet.
Yeah.
Public comment?
Yeah, that's, I mean, it was submitted before the agenda was posted. So
Oh,
it's part of the agenda packet for the public.
Oh, I didn't know that was.
Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't know.
As
So-
opposed to items that are submitted like after the agenda's been published and noticed, and then we will note that in the record because the public had no knowledge of it. So this is.
That's fine,
there is
I'll just
public-
read it then, I wasn't aware of this.
No, yeah, there is public comment. I'll just note it's part of the agenda packet though. Related
Do we know who this is from or?
Yeah, from Douglas Sem.
Former council member, okay.
Yeah.
That's fine, okay, I just wanted to make sure we weren't disregarding anybody's input here, okay.
And I will just say, and you may all be aware of it, I think it is in the staff report, but in terms of the process. For nominations, the process is obviously, I'm assuming there's gonna be some discussion after there's some discussion. The mayor will open the floor for nominations and any council member can make a nomination for any of the three candidates, including the mayor. And then once all the nominations have been made, we will close the nomination period. And then we will do a roll call vote for all the nominees in the order in which they were nominated. And as soon as we get a majority of votes, which in this case is 3, that can't be selected, assuming that we can get a majority. And we'll go through it, and then if we don't get one, we can open up again and do it again. Or the council can give direction to do something else, but that's the process. So I just want everyone to know that because the order in which you make the nominations could be important. But it's also just good for everyone to know who all the nominees are and in the order they're gonna be voted, so then when you make the votes, you can make them with a fully informed understanding of who else is gonna be potentially voted on. So I just wanna make that clear. Are there any questions on that?
Yeah, that's fine, we can do that. My understanding was the night, and I know that the city attorney wasn't present that night, that I don't believe it, the night that we interviewed the different candidates, that we'd had our council discussion. But in public here. My understanding was we were just taking a vote, But I certainly don't wanna stop anybody from the public from getting up and speaking, so if anybody wants to speak, or if somebody else has something they wanna say, I'm okay, my understanding was we were just gonna vote.
And I'm not telling you you have to discuss it, I'm just saying, if there is any further discussion that anyone wants to have, you have the opportunity to do so. Peter's actually already opened and closed public comment, there was no public comment, so really it's now back to the council, you can make a discussion. If not, Peter can open the floor for candidates, so yeah.
Okay, then that's fine, and so if any of the members want to talk, then that's fine, I was just trying to, as obviously we're a new council members, I just don't understand that, you know, so. I thought we were just simply going straight to vote, but that's fine if anyone else talk.
I'm good.
Okay, I thought you said that you had some.
Oh, no.
Oh. Holger, you got anything?
I'm under the same sentiment as Don, that we took a pause of not nominating day of or night of, but rather go home and do something worth thinking.
So do you wanna?
So I guess I'll open the floor to nominations.
I would like to nominate Rusty Felina to be appointed. Can I give comments on that?
Yes.
I just wanna say Keith and Rusty, both for me, were the top two in consideration. And the only differentiating factor for me was leading up to the election discussions that were had. Was that Keith was not interested anymore in being part of the council. And Rusty had expressed in meeting, him and his wife asked to meet with me to get to know me better and talk more about specific issues to the city. And in that discussion, Rusty expressed interest in running at a future time for city council. And so it made perfect sense to me that he would put in a letter of interest. And so unfortunately, I just can't unhear or unknow what I knew prior to the election. And so that's the deciding factor for me, but I love you, Keith.
Well, if there's a motion to appoint Mr. Flynn, I'll second that.
Well, yeah, so again, there's not gonna be any motion yet, we're gonna take a vote on the candidates after Peter closes the nomination period, so if there's no other any other candidates, now's the time, because that's the only candidate, that's the only nominee. And we close it, so
I apologize, Mr. So I thought she made a motion for that, she was looking for a second.
for this one, any council member just makes a
Okay.
nomination, we get all the nominations
Yeah.
together, and then we do a roll call vote for each.
Yeah, I apologize for
No
my
problem.
parents, I thought that's how we were doing.
No problem.
And I'm gonna nominate Keith. Because I think he has historic and, you know, good knowledge and is ready to go up and come for the council and do the hard work. He's put the time in, and we don't have to train a fourth new council member. And it's nothing against Rusty. Rusty, I think, would be an amazing council person. It's nothing personal. Yeah, like I said in the past, I begged him for years to get on council. I think he'd be an amazing council person. It's just, I think in this moment right now, personally, we need someone with that knowledge, and it's gonna help the new council members all kind of, because it takes a good 2 years to get your feet under you on council. Yeah, it's a learning process, and you know, before you're really comfortable in your seat. So for me, that's why I nominate Keith. Like I said, it's nothing personal, Rusty, love you to death.
I'm good.
So I will say that I struggled with this because I feel between Jacob, Rusty, and Keith, there's a lot of things that can be brought to the table, beneficially on all accounts. The fact that I can't, what's the word I'm looking for? I won't dismiss Jacob or Rusty or being new on the council,
Yeah.
because we have 3 up here that are new.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
I think, so to me, that argument is kind of moot, because we're learning it, and I think it's what you can bring to the table that definitely extra stand-up person or, you know. So again, I think all three candidates can bring a lot to the table. And I know that Keith has got a lot of history, experience, and I've struggled with the fact that he can mentor us, right? And then I'm looking at Rusty and Jacob thinking, well, we're also new, right? And we also can bring a lot to the table. And then I looked at it that Rusty spent a whole lot of time on different board services, leadership skills, public service, and all those duties. And because of that reason, I will nominate Rusty Boyle.
Okay, so at this time, since they've all spoken, we have two candidates, you can close the nomination period.
Close the nomination period.
And now we'll do a roll call vote, since Rusty was the first name, and if he gets 3 votes, then we're done.
Councilmember Crawford,
Aye.
Councilmember Harnish,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Nunn,
Aye.
Mayor Amoruso.
Aye.
Thank you, motion passes.
And again, I want to say thank you to you all for having the wherewithal and the ability to put forward your letter of indication and, you know, really stepping up. Like, it takes a lot.
I also just wanna say, Keith, I just wanna thank Keith for his service, the 8 years that he's given Plymouth. And I hope that, and I know that if any of us as new council members needed to reach out to Keith for anything, I know he would be there to mentor any of us or answer questions or help us, because that's the kind of guy he is. So I have no reservations about that at all. And so just thank you, Keith, for the 8 years that you served the council. It's, I mean, oh, excuse me, 12 years. 12 years. I don't know why I thought it was 8. Yeah.
That's only like a year.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It was 8. No, okay, I was right. It was 8. I was like, well, I was like, were we still in high school when you did this?
I wasn't in high school 12 years ago.
I'm just teasing.
I just wanna say, I didn't speak a lot tonight about this because, the reason I didn't want to go for a vote the night that we held the interviews was because I wanted time to really think about this and give, everybody a fair shot. And I spent a lot of time on this, went back and forth, and if you would ask me week back, I wasn't made up at any point on this thing. And I looked at all 3 of these people to bring a lot to us. Mr. Muskin, I looked at his time spent in government and in business, and I thought that would be valuable to the city. And I looked at, the time he spent on the council and the connection that he's made, serving on it, he could definitely be an asset, have him back on here. And then I looked at Mr. Felina, who I didn't really know, but, I read what he sent us, I listened that night, and I thought, he has a vast amount of knowledge and time living in the city and knowing some of our issues and stuff. And so I went back and forth. Even a week ago, I was a little bit on the fence on a few things. So I went back and forth, but I just felt like that's how I didn't want to take a vote the night we did it. I wanted to think about it. And after thinking about it, I made the decision I did, and I was ready to go. But I thank all 3 of them for putting in. I think it's great that 3 people actually put in and wanted to do it. So thank you.
And I do wanna just say, Jacob, I think you should definitely run in 2026,
I agree.
it's nothing personal. I just have the concerns regarding conflicts of interest, and I would hate to get down the road and for you not to be able to participate for some reason we didn't understand now. So totally nothing personal, your resume is incredibly impressive. So I hope you consider running.
I definitely second that. I think you can bring a lot to a board if you were to run.
Yeah.
And I think if you were to put that out to the public, the experience you've had in government and so forth, I think there's a very good chance people would vote for you. And it'd be a great benefit to them. So nothing,
Yes, thank you very much.
we just had to pick one, so thank you very much. Done here?
Now you can adjourn.
With that, we'll adjourn.